Hello, welcome back to Project Kermit. As you can see, all the hard work from the last episode has been dismantled, only temporarily of course. And what I'm going to do now is take each of those components, make them as good as I can, and then we'll rebuild it, starting in the middle and working our way out. So the radiator cradles, those support frames will be first. This is the top, this is the front. First thing, and I owe thanks to one of my patrons for pointing this out, I've got to drill a hole for the filler port for the radiator, because obviously shifting the radiator sideways, that was the original hole. It's under there, I think. So we'll find out exactly where that is and sort that out. Let's do that. We'll do that first. Then make up some way of mounting the fan. There it is, that's what I was on about. Yeah. Ta-da! It's still there on the back. Good, that's that bit. Now on the intercooler one, it's going to be the same bit. That's going to be a redundant hole. So are those two. Or, tell you what I'm going to do is put all this back together, sort out the fan, and then do that, because that's a known. The fan mounting is the unknown. So we'll figure that out first. Yeah, we'll put that over there. I've decided to put it in this frame, the intercooler frame, and just that way I can drop in the frames separately if I wanted to, without the fan stopping that happening. And there we are so far. A few people have pointed out I should fit a little deflector, a wind deflector, to cover up this gap, which I'm going to do. There's some bit of sheet material that goes here, and that way all the airflow is forced through the radiator and through the intercooler. 16 by 7-ish. So that's what you'll see from the outside, just the tags poking out. Not much to it, but there's no flex to this, so there's no point bracing the back anymore. It will be fine. So I've just got these two holes to fill in, and that's it, I think. Haven't finished. It's time to pull it to bits. That's all for the blaster then. While I'm at it, I might as well do that fan, this one. Although, I'm going to test it first because it might not even work. That's as good as I could get the blower. It's such thin material, I didn't want to carry on blasting in case it went through. But there's still bits of rust left at the bottom of the pits here. So I'm going to go over it with the rust killer and that'll sort that out. Just dismantled this for aesthetics because this was all horrible and rusty, but I'm glad I did actually, because the seal between that outer plate with the magnet in it and the rest of the motor here was on its way out. So it's sort of still rubbery in places, but it was, you know, it's definitely past its best. So I'm just going to scrape this, and it had been allowing water in there, so top, and that's the bottom. Which way around is it going? It's cushion. Yeah, it's that way. before I can put the radiator in, I need access to these screw holes to attach the wings. Before I do the wings though, I'm going to put the fan in for the heater because that's all ready to go. So we'll sort that out. And I'm going to put that there. Cool. Got a special bit of hose for this. This is actually really nice hose, this stuff. It's induction hose and it's made of silicone. I've got another much longer length of it which I'm going to use to go from the filter round to the turbo inlet. And up to there somewhere. So I owe thanks to one of my patrons for the next bit. He pointed out that this top heater hose is going to be the highest point in the whole of the cooling system and suggested that I fit a bleed valve to it. And that's what this is. It's just a T-piece really with a screw in the top. So if we go pipe there, I want to put it there. Yeah, so that was cut it there. I don't think it's essential, but it seemed like a good idea. And for a tenner, why not? Towards the end of the last episode, we went back to the Brambles of Delight and retrieved this, which obviously is another Series 3 wing, and it's just the outer wing that I want. The rest of it, which is, well, it's in better shape than Kermit's outer wing, put it that way. The rest of it is better on Kermit, so we'll reuse that. So I'm just going to extract the outer wing here and then see if I can beat it back into shape. If you're wondering why I don't just shot blast it, the metal is just too soft really. Blasting, it's only really effective when it's quite violent. And on steel, that's fine. So even on thin steel, you can do it. On this, with my setup at least, it would not go well. Like I say, the aluminium is just too soft. like someone's really gone at it with a hammer. But it has the curves going in the right direction now. The original wing. This is Kermit's original bumper, and I will be reusing this after a bit of work to it. This occurred the moment we tried to pull Kermit from the brambles, and I did raise this with Mark and he told me that never mind what they look like, these are definitely not towing or recovery points, so that was entirely my fault then. Whatever they are, I'm going to cut them off and then blast this. Well, I'm certainly glad I blasted this. It's revealed how bad the metal is. So I'll get the shape back into it and then start cutting out the bad bits. And if I put it there, just side looks much better. Well, that was handy. 2 bolts out and the whole thing falls apart. Excellent. Excellent. I'm really liking the look. That's just absolutely perfect. Well, it's what I had in mind is what I mean. Next up, I'm going to sort out the bonnet. The bonnet, as we've seen already, is in quite good nick, at least externally, but on the underneath, all this framework is steel and it's not really corroded, but the paint's just it's just coming off in sheets. So this will have to be stripped down. What I'm going to do is take the frame off and I'll blast that, and that'll also give me the opportunity to get the skin flat on the table there and, well, I was going to say smooth it out, do what I can to smooth it out. Really just replacing the big dents with hundreds of little ones, but the shape is restored, that's the key thing. We're only at the primer stage with the bonnet here, but I brought it back in the workshop because at this point I want to refit the steel frame to the underneath the bonnet. But not only that, in between the bonnet skin and the frame I want to put some soundproofing. Now I'm not sure if this is going to work. So remember, this is the steel frame that gives the structure to the bonnet. So that's going to slide in more or less like that. In between the frame and the skin I want to put this. I've actually got 3 different types of soundproof material here. I got all these from a company called Noise Killer, and as with everything on this build, there were no favours involved. I paid full price for this, and I don't even know if this is going to do what I want it to yet, so don't take this as a recommendation necessarily. Anyway, this top sheet here is under bonnet insulation material, or engine bay insulation material, and it's this silver stuff, silver foil, foam and a sticky backing on it, and this is very heavy, which is what I want to line the bonnet with. What I'm trying to do with the bonnet, and this is called soundproofing material, I'm not trying to soundproof the vehicle at all. It's an old Land Rover after all. What I'm trying to do is to take away some of the tinniness of the bonnet. That's what this sheet's for. Now these are usually sold as pre-cut kits, but I decided to buy the whole sheet and try and use that, which might be a great idea, might be a terrible idea, we'll find out in a minute. This one is more this sort of egg box material. sort of thing you'd see, this shape is the sort of thing you'd see in an audio studio. This is going to line the roof, and then I've got this, which is a sort of lead blanket to go over the gearbox. So the roof liner is intended to take away some of the drumming noise. The thing is, in a Land Rover, especially something with a small cab, as the pickup's going to be, you can just magnify the noise, just bounces around in there. It's like being inside a drum. So hopefully this will take away some of that, and obviously the gearbox one should take away some of the gearbox whine. I should say as well, this is not intended for a series gearbox, so we may have to modify that. This is supposed to fit a Defender. So you would usually get this stuff in the form of a kit, in the cutout still with these various shapes, and you just stick it in. But I figured because I was taking the frame out, maybe I can just put a big sheet of the soundproof material in there and sandwich it between the skin and the frame. That would be a better way of securing it, and it would mean there would be no gaps in the soundproofing. It does, of course, depend on this being compressible, but if all else fails, I'll just cut the shapes out. So this will squeeze down to about 1 millimetre, so I'm not sure if that's going to be enough or not, but we'll find out. I'm being a bit gentle with it because obviously the thing is, this is foil, it's very easy to tear the top layer here, and still got to get this out and get it stuck onto the skin, and then this back in. This is just a test fit. I'm fairly sure it's going to work. What I'm not sure is how to stick it down. I could put cuts down the middle there. I'm just thinking when it's sticky, I'm not going to be able to tuck it under there like I've just done. Let's mark out where this goes. That's what we want, some kind of roller, isn't it? We'll start there because I know it's going to butt up to that. Sorted and take it from there. Roll the seams. Well, I have to say, that went really much more smoothly than I was expecting. I'm ready to fit the bonnet now, but the trouble is the bonnet weighs much more than it did before because of all that sound insulation. So I can't just plonk it on. But I think the sensible thing to do would be to try and drop it in like that. I've got a toolbox. I'll put down here. See what happens. In. That is substantially more weighty than it was before. There we go. Ooh. Excellent. That looks good. Yes, excellent. Right, I've just got the vent flaps and the windscreen to fit. Now there should be a rubber strip going here between the surround and the bulkhead, which I've got somewhere. There should also be some glass, of course, but for now I'm just checking it will fit. We'll get one in. Wow, look at that. That's not only undeniable progress, it really feels like I'm getting somewhere now, but also the look that I've had in mind for so long is now starting to manifest in real life, as it were. And hopefully you're starting to get a flavour of what I'm going for. Well, having fundamentally finished the front of the truck, I should probably move on to the middle next. But for now, that's going to do it for this instalment. I hope you'll agree it's actually coming along. It feels to me at least that we're getting somewhere now. I was going to celebrate with a cup of tea. Cheers for now.